That frost-burnt skin. Looks like someone just checked Cloister off their sightseeing list.
Make some space! We've got a sanctioned, non-employee professional call.
No more bottles on factory floor!
That's right,
Time for
keep the chairs going!
bathroom
I can see
doors!
the overseer up in her office, and we're definitely making her miserable. That's right, folks. Keep the chanting going.
With no
I can
rest
see the
and no
overseer up in her office,
downtime,
and
we
we're
should
definitely
pay
making
for
her
drink
miserable.
time! Others get the exact same pay! We work 12-hour days! We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans! If you won't let us sleep or eat, you can't charge us for stimulants! With no rest and no downtime, we should pay for drink time!
And now it's available in mysterious Murky Brown.
Others get the exact same pay! We work 12-hour days!
Whatever it is you're after, go looking for it somewhere else.
Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical.
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected, and potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. And he's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor, labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right, exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
Under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. It is true that the rate I'm losing income is grossly more damaging than deducting the cost of the Adrena time, but I cannot concede to free. We will offer them wholesale. Is there more, they ask? 12 hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility, consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. Well, I suppose that's true. It wouldn't take much to put enough pep in their proverbial step to make up for 2 lost hours. Their overall productivity might even improve. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses from me, which should be more than enough to make up for the drop in hourly production. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Somewhere? Oh, that actually explains the odor in storage room 3. I never imagined they might be... I'll get the door unlocked immediately, and cleaning crews dispatched. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
If you won't let us sleep or eat, you can charge us for stimulants!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? Is she willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? If I'm honest, that's what I was expecting. I figured free was too much to ask. But at least we can afford it this way. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? Well, that certainly is disappointing. But I suppose we'll manage. An extra 2 hours off a day will make life a little easier, at least. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair cream now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all. It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I suppose that passes for a happy ending among these corporatists. Excellent work, dear.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
avoid the strike. They should be after blood.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work. Our disruption in the theater. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must.
You seem like a go-getter. Let's consume lunch sometime.
Hello, and goodbye.
Your allotted time to impress me has already expired.
Capitalism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
Yes, well, I can understand how you'd feel that way, but in time, you'll understand that Auntie's Choice is the best form of consumer proprietorship humanity has ever created.
You even remember the old Earth corporations? Didn't treat their employees an iota as well. No chance to better yourself at all. Got what you got, which was next to nothing. Now, any other uninformed insights you're looking to share?
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary Insight Acquisition Division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Actually, it's only 3. Surely you can handle twice that many tasks. I don't want to sound like the Order, but you could make a list, maybe. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.
Budget for the next fiscal semi-decade. Where it's due. To me!
Thought I ran you off already. I look like I'm from the Human Welfare Department? Go find someone else to yap. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you.
Move along.
Not getting paid by the word. Make it quick. The none of your business kind.
What was that?
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Craft's raring to go. Anyone else? Here, man.
Don't mind me. This factory used to be a protection site. Really going downhill.
Looks like a fight.
Fastest way forward is through! Troublemaker approach.
Is that another stimulant hallucination?
Got company, Commander.
Look at a few quick swim, Commander.
What's all that going on out there?
Not getting paid by the word. Make it quick. Thought I ran you off already.
slow. Ready to waste. On your command.
Rat's raring to go. Recharging as fast as it can, Commander. Let's get you healed. Someone call for a medic.
The idea is to kill them before you die. Can't recharge. Let me know when you needed a stretch. Appreciate a little help, Commander. Knew you had my back.
I look forward to the reclamation of the... Now, how might we be of use to one? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential Order personnel.
Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Prudent. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Were it so easy, delegates would not have been required prior to now. Don't feel ashamed. Not even my own lord. I will speak with Levin and tell him to cease all transmissions with the undisputed claim immediately. The Order does not require a corporation's help to win this war. But now, let us move on from this discussion. The Archive remains at the forefront of my mind, as it must be on yours, or else you would not be here. Walk me through your plan, then. Once the data is processed, what then? And so it may, but perhaps we are putting the solution before the problem. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. Charmingly put. But yes, I do. Any way I interpret the numbers, it is obvious the plan brought you here to deliver the Archive out of Protectorate subjugation and back into Order hands. But before we go further, you should be aware, by aligning yourself with us in this matter, Auntie's Choice will almost assuredly see you as a threat to their interests. Are you prepared to accept that consequence? I understand.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Have you arrived at a decision about assisting us with the Archive? Anything I can answer for you, I will. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. Yes. There's a reason they call it the madness of crowds. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. Thank you for that charitable assessment. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromise is made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. Likely not. But it is the responsibility of every student to surpass their mentor in understanding and sentiment. And I can reliably assert that I have done that. May you
Be the statistical exception to the natural...
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
And I'll take care of him, Commander.
They're enough. Locking them down. Abandoned scan. Mobilizing.
Combat! Hey!
Still recharging. I'll handle this.
Troublemaker approaching.
attack. Checkpoint ready. Vitals are in the red
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say which.
Not possible unless you help me.
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you... Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the six.
And Donnybrook in
Got my lamps on an unfront.
Breaking for cover. I would not refuse medical support.
Thank you, dear.
why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into
Investigating types.
That's a bad couple. Spy move!
Gray gone astray? Look us come in, come right in, and be refreshed.
To ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times, the paradigm requires it.
Mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lake of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
This is new. A mild euphoric. Light hallucinogenic properties. Not entirely unpleasant, but kid stuff.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say refreshed to be? Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
Right. That's why we're here. Got some thoughts we need rinsed. I mean, washed. Deloused?
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould.
Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself. Several times, they say, and look at me now. Never more content.
Envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Our intake evaluation automech here simply needs to ask you a few questions to amply delineate your phrenometric matrix. A baseline understanding of your character and background will assist our facilitators in determining the ideal regimen necessary to abrade any perceived personality irregularities.
That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium is the primary mental refreshment facility on Praetor. We are tasked with ensuring local subjects are serene, untroubled, and operating at peak efficacy. Right as rain, neighbor, right as rain. And soon you'll be just like me.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
Oh, I hadn't noticed you sauntering. But of course I will readily admit you. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Our intake evaluation automech here simply needs to ask you a few questions to amply delineate your phrenometric matrix. Yes, as it is an unthinking automaton capable of mindlessly parroting pre-programmed responses.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher.
Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / you're right. and it will begin your assessment.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work?
To deliberate is to court ruin.
I'm obsessed. It's the best. I guess just. And whoever would have guessed?
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Welditarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually, each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief?
Is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the mental refresher.
Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you?
Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Unsatisfactory response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 200 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed one floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance
We're
of a
refreshed,
beneficent
so refreshed, mentally, I confess, so refreshed.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind.
do believe that.
Protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important. Protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Greeting. Hello. My name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to refreshment facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy. I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question? Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? Ugh, It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
Each a vital cog. Each a vital cog. Their team plays the what? Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try. Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. May you read? Oh.
Medicament dispensed has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. Noting gloomful self-diagnosis and responding with couched optimism. Well then, that still leaves plenty of room for improvement. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
The system provides, the system abides.
Well, that was a load of crap.
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. questions are an unmistakable sign of worry, disquietment, and worst yet, rumination. Once the mind is a thing of symmetry, vexatious agitatements simply waft away. As every loyal and dutiful protectorate subject knows, thinking is best left to our betters. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech automechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you'll
That could have gone worse.
So this process removes all curiosity then. Guess that's one way to keep people from questioning.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural damage.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having.
That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it. Advisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. Mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation,
Combatant observed.
stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
I see an unfriendly
Sort of peculiar.
All subjects prosper under the guidance. Back to it!
Go get the work in. I'll take care of this, Commander.
Target analyzed. Lay down for negative. Recharge incomplete. Taking the fight out of them. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Nice, go.
I'm down in case you haven't noticed. Ratcheting up my aggression.
Stifles undue agitation. Stymies untoward inclination. Fashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Say, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of
Oh, do I detect a whiff of reprioritin gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. Ha! You're not a Protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Laughing Boy here must be our lead scientist. That gas ought to make him a mite more tractable.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Listen to this one. You're a hoot. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. I believe in the strength of our ideals. I'm quite certain I'll win you over. What's more, our colloquy promises to be vastly more diverting than my usual day-to-day blather. But if I'm wrong, what would Auntie's Choice or the Order or, my word, you're not a scrapper? Well, none of them will know what to do with our advanced know-how. Oh, do play along now. It's so rare I meet anyone of even mild. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them?
That's very kind of you, dear.
They're obsessed with tomorrow. Why even worry about the future anyway? The paradigm maps out our path, so we don't need to be concerned about what comes next. What say you about Auntie's Choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? Invariably, they choose the fool's choice. To heedlessly err, to wantonly destroy, to endlessly, heedlessly think only of themselves. What does this freedom grant them? Would they not be happier, healthier, if their betters made better decisions for them? Is it really so much to give up? In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. I appreciate the compliment buried within there, I think. It is true that those of us more ingeniously minded can sometimes be misaligned with the Paradigm's plan. Temporarily, of course. One cannot and should not fight perfection. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging fruit, as it were. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're completely aware of which of us I'm referring to. I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess, though ultimately I'm not wholly surprised. Suppose that leaves one last thing.
Guards, we have an intruder.
Target at. Consider self-preservation a priority. Reviving me is strategically optimal. Impossible. I'm incapacitated.
I'm getting up without help, Commander!
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Oh, well, this is normally where... Oh, how out... Oh, dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the... Even in a state such as this, to what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Yes, well, you'll see. Even so, what of the Order, our former ally?
I believe the compliment cancels out.
A clear example of a life to have... What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? I do appreciate your candor. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw as it is right now. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? That was the final point you wanted to make? All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of... I am deeply disappointed.
Suffered extensive damage tonight. Target analyzed. Let down fire. Combatant scan. Patience. Every target.
Got a distraction for you.
Got eyes on some no good.
Mobilize them. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varric, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varric. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the Consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Preposterous! The Consul and all the Vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave. Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the Sovereign.
Threat detected. Investigate hostile intentions. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilification in progress. Taking the fight out of them. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Negative. Recharge incomplete. Vitals are in the red, Commander.
Sorry, ain't ready yet.
Proceeding to it.
Got my left on an upfront.
Combatant scans.
Ready to waste them.
Standing by to stupefy.
Electrical damage. Failing.
Knew you had my back.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. Dispenser has concluded for today. Please proceed
to... Never more content. Never more content.
I could tell you were in need of mental refreshment. I possess a particularly keen eye for such things.
Yes. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Never more content. Never more content.
feel ever so much better once your phenometric peaks have been created.
They hate our contentment. I like our contentment.
To deliberate is to court
Realigned with the paradigm.
Resorting to violence.
Gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Huh. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. But alas, not charged. Negative. Recharge incomplete.
You're the one you need to worry about.
Unready. Need to finish recharging first.
Up to, but I'm not ready.
Patient. Still recharging. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Torpificator at ready status. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Attacking separately without complete.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Hostility.
Hostile there.
Hey, recharge!
They're benumbed. Locking them down.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Perfection is perfect. You think too much. They dropped out of sight.
I'll handle this. Not charged.
You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
And the dummy broken too. I advise you decamp directly.
Have a fix on their weaknesses.
What nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through
talk is cheap, but my time is not.
At Auntie's choice, we strive to be 110.
Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art. Damn right. Of course. We're Auntie's choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about, it's something you feel. Or that is, convince someone to feel.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Oh, do tell. I hope you gathered supplemental materials and recruited the scientist as well. Well, got what we needed. Sometimes a body count can't be helped.
Better in the ground than in our enemy's employ. Nice work, my ameliorator.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They can barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Ah, I see we have an ideological fellow traveler. Why, this is a nice surprise. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. Well now, time's wasting. Do you know the archive on Cloister, the moon-sized computronic contraption?
As you will no doubt recall, it was responsible for creating the Monopolistic Mercantile Methodology Plan, our current operations manifesto.
That old hat again.
Whether or not I yet have full confidence in the strategies it devised is presently irrelevant. Regardless, I want it back under our control as soon as possible.
Protectorate forces occupy the area. All of them, it seems.
Yet, a skilled operator like you could lead the charge, slip in where a larger, less cost-effective force might falter. Little sabotage, some well-timed calling of reinforcements once you retake Spireton. Voila! The Protectorate are gone, at a fraction of the projected price otherwise. And if you have some calculations you want to run on it first, fine. Our goals align. Just give us the archive when you're done. Sure, it'd put you on the Order's bad side, permanently, hostilely, but I'm certain you're prepared to accept that. Who cares if a bunch of bookish academics are mad at you, right? I await your additional queries with bated breath.
It's the former headquarters of the Order on Cloister. The Protectorate have it under control. You recapture it, our forces will move in.
There's a lift outside the archive from Spireton. Once you activate it, all those troops will come spilling in to help you.
Nothing untoward, I assure you. Some advanced planning for our eventual return to Halcyon, to prepare for a little business with old rivals. Well, don't take too much time. We may find some gormless dunderhead who's more appreciative of the offer in the meanwhile.
Team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's darlings. I cleaved Spacers Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see us.
Need something? Knew you'd come around. Deliver us control of that doodad.
This is exactly the kind of surgical operation I recruited you for.
I can meet you there once you've breached its defenses. Call on me, if and when you...
Splendid. You have a reasonable...
just...
Marisol's something, huh? She had everyone fooled, and then she turns around, exposes Svoboda for what she is, and reveals herself to be the... She reminds me of the serial heroes I wanted to be just like when I was a kid. I'd tell her if I thought she'd appreciate it. There's something inspiring about someone who knows exactly what they are. Anyway, she's probably already got bugs listening in on us, so we ought to just stop there.
Look at you, on time and everything. Boss said you'd be here. Is it time to begin our assault? Or you want to let Spyreton languish under the heavy-handed boot of Protectorate control a while longer? Had you pegged as a go-getter? Well, go get it then. Our reinforcements ought to be along, eventually. You ready to attack Spyreton now, or... You know...